why are we up this early in the morning? Because I wanted to talk about Voronoi diagrams and also the pub. So, a little bit of history. 1, the pubs have just opened, and 2, about 200 years ago, there was a cholera outbreak in London, and this guy, John Snow, was trying to help the local authorities figure out what was the source of this outbreak. And so his theory was that it was caused by one of the water sources, and I don't think he knew at the time what cholera actually was, but he thought the water was the cause. And so what he did was he had a map and he plotted all of the water pumps, and then he plotted all of the houses where people were dying. And what he found was that if he divided the map into regions closest to each water pump, that all the deaths were happening in the region closest to the Broad Street water pump, with a few anomalies, such as people who would walk through Broad Street to get to work, or the brewery around the corner who were not actually drinking very much water, but were mostly drinking their own beer.
Very healthy.
Yeah. And so how this links to pubs reopening are that we had the clever idea, I thought, of trying to make our own map to figure out where our nearest pub is, regardless of where we are in Bath. And so we drew a map and we plotted all the points where the pubs were, and we used an R package to put this one together. What's actually happening behind the scenes, the maths, is points being plotted and something called Delaney triangles are being drawn. So these are triangles using shortest distances between the points, and then these are connected using perpendicular lines to connect everything together. On R it's quite easy, so we ended up with a map like this, and we found that from where we are right now in the Crescent in Bath, our nearest pub is St James's Wine Vault, which is just around the corner. It is too early right now to actually go over there, so instead of going to the pub at 7 in the morning, I can give you a few more examples of how I'm using Voronoi diagrams right now. So one way that I am using it is my phone, is probably using it to figure out which phone mast to get a signal from. In another way, you can use Voronoi diagrams in epidemiology. So we are still going through a pandemic, and I'm sure someone at some point has thought to use this idea of separating regions into areas closest to certain points to figure out where the origin of various of these outbreaks has been. Other examples are how you might separate a region into school districts. So if you have all your schools, you might separate the regions into areas closest to each school. Or if you were building a new shop, maybe new Greggs, you might plot all the Greggs that are already existing. This is not an ad, by the way. You might plot all the Greggs and see that one region is quite large, and you could probably fit another Greggs in there and split that region up. And so we've left the resources that we've used in the link below. So if you want to make your own Voronoi diagram, you can do it yourself. If you find that you're actually stuck in a city and all you have is a map and a pen and a ruler, you could draw your own Voronoi diagram to find maybe your nearest coffee shop, or your nearest takeaway, or maybe your nearest park. I'm not sure what situation you'd actually use this, but we thought it was a pretty cool piece of maths, and we were quite surprised that not many people knew about it. So hopefully you know a little bit more, and maybe you want to try it yourself.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That might be it. Woo!